Hey guys, so I just wanted to start off with a little introductory. I've been playing Clash of Clans since 2012 on and off, and I work full time. And I used to have a YouTube channel that I uploaded to pretty frequently, but then just ran out of time, and I'm looking to get started into it again. This time I would like to focus more on the defensive side of things, on the base building, as I feel like base building is often an overlooked thing in Clash of Clans, and it holds a lot of value, but people just tend to grab internet bases and just take the shortcuts, which is okay depending on what level you're planning to try and play at. However, I can assure you that learning to build and pushing yourself to try it and try things opens your eyes to not only fun, creative base building ideas, but it also allows you to think a little more detailed with your attacks. And you might be thinking, why is this? This is because when you know how to base build, you actually look for the strengths and the weaknesses in a base, and you can actually identify those easier because you know what the meta is in base building, and you understand how queen pathing works better, and how troop pathing works better, and how and when a defender is trying to set your troops up to fail on the funneling. So all those items are really helpful things that you can get from base building. So a couple things I want to do in this channel is I want to do some live builds with you guys and just kind of talk as I'm doing them. Take questions down in the comments, but I just want to show people kind of how easy it really can be to base build, and how base building is basically like an art, and there are no right or wrongs. It all depends on how you trap the base, how you plan to do the base. There are plenty instances where people will build a base and they will set it up so that it looks like very valuable in one area, and it looks like a bad base design, but it's overly trapped, and if you attack from that side, you'll find that you'll probably end up with a 1-star. These are all different strategies you can use. Now, this base I'm showing you is a diamond style base that I built about a week ago, and the tricky part about this base, the symmetrical bases, is that the value is usually like well spread out, and in this case, because the current meta is so strong with dragon spam attacks, I have both the sweepers facing away from the town hall, kind of baiting the attacker to come in at the town hall, or to use some sort of zap or something, making it a little more uncomfortable, and a little less possible to get a blimp from the other side of the base into the town hall. My defenses aren't super max, so a lot of times I'll give my bases to my clan mates to test out how the defenses do, but I'm working on getting those maxed out. So I'm gonna start building a base with you guys on the video today, and just talk through like some of the things you can do. Okay, so first, the biggest problem that people have with base building is that it's just overwhelming and they don't know where to start. So the first thing that I would recommend doing is working on your town hall compartment. At Town Hall 14, the town hall is the most valuable item in the game, as far as defense goes, and I really like to try and spread out my town hall compartment so that the blizzard in the town hall compartment can't get like crazy value. And to kind of set up this town hall compartment, I'll use like other simple buildings to kind of see like how much room I have, and then you can kind of use that to help you start it out. So we'll just make like, in this video, we'll just make like a standard town hall compartment. Nothing crazy. So I'm making this nice and spread out, this town hall compartment, and I'm always making sure that I can have enough space on the outside for some trash buildings. You don't want no trash buildings if you can avoid it. It's just too easy for people to funnel, especially at like lower levels. Alright, so a huge meta right now is to put the single inferno tower behind the town hall, and it works really nicely. I think that it's kind of repetitive sometimes, like seeing the bases like built the same way, and it can be kind of annoying. I don't know if that's the right words, but it can be kind of annoying, like, because bases, when you build bases, they're typically built the same way all the time. But I'm hoping that when they bring out the new town hall that they change that. So notice how what I have here is like just a basic setup where my single inferno is just barely reaching over the town hall, and then I have my C also protecting the town hall compartment, so that hopefully nobody can get too much value from just that alone. So I'll basically just place out like the basic, only the basic items for now in the base, because I don't want to get too in-depth with the setup. I like to do like town hall compartments like this, and the reason being is because when the attacker like sends super bowlers in from here down through the middle, their bowlers and their troops are forced to go through the town hall poison rather than being able to spread out and go around it. So you get the max value from your town hall explosion, and that can be really valuable. So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward a bit, and we'll map out the like rest of the base, the basic structure, and then I will talk about it a little more.
Soundstripe.
this is like how I start all of my bases. I like to lay down like and just basically decide like what are the important items on the base and place those down accordingly. So a lot of times in the current meta, the anti 3-star bases tend to be the best. And anti 3-star bases are basically just bases where you spread out the value of your base enough that the attacker can't get too much in any single area. So what this does is that when the attacker thinks it's a good idea to put a blimp somewhere, they won't get enough value necessarily all the time to actually get value out of blimping. To get value out of blimping or queen charging. The attacker just won't be able to get like a lot in one section, which will force them to improvise and figure out ways to attack the base, you know, or maybe they'll just get lucky and get a triple. However, base building is basically just, you know, you just want them to have the most difficult time making it happen. So I like to place all my major defenses first, and then I try to kind of imagine what I think their queen charge would look like or whatever. I like to put my king next to the eagle compartment because a lot of times people like to send a king or something to take out the eagle, and that kind of helps protect it from just getting free suied. It makes the attacker invest a little bit more into the base. So I like to spread out my queen and my RC on most bases, unless you have like an anti 2-star base that's meant to kind of be kind of trolly. It's good to separate your king, your queen, and your RC because they have a lot of defensive value to them, especially against air troops. And if you didn't know, the warden actually gives extra health to the buildings that are around it on defense, so that's pretty important too. My builder huts, I like to put a couple builder huts all the time by the town hall. 2 or 3 usually, just to kind of make sure that the town hall will be, you know, that the town hall will be healed up if it doesn't go all the way down. It's a pretty valuable defense in my opinion. Same thing with the core multi. I like to have a builder hut next to her just to top her off if needed. So I'm just going to open up these compartments here. These weird corners kind of make it difficult to attack some of these bases. Sometimes you can put like a archer tower like in the corners like this and close it off, and what this does is it forces the attacker to wall break twice instead of wall break once to get into the base. Again, just forcing the attacker to invest more than what they thought they would have, like what they could, and not just giving it away so easily. I like to place a couple storages in my town hall area to defend against sneaky goblins and to defend against blimps possibly. It's really difficult to actually defend against a blimp, and you'll learn that for sure. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to face these sweepers down and away from the town hall. I'm going to kind of bait this town hall, so I'm going to make it look like a nice blimp value here, but I'm going to put some giant bombs next to it most likely, and you can even use pair your bomb towers with your you can pair your bomb towers with your giant bombs to get like more value out of them. It takes one giant bomb and one small bomb to blow up blizzard troops, so just keep that in mind. That's kind of helpful. So I don't usually put like a ton of value inside the town hall compartments, but I do always make sure that there is a mortar. You always want a mortar pretty much every corner of your base. This helps defend against the flame flinger. So I'm going to do this, and then what I can do now is I can put a couple giant bombs in here. And spread some small bombs in here to take out any and if you really want to bait it, you can put the tornado trap like up here or something, but that's only if you're like really confident that the attacker might do that, which I'm not, because there's definitely other places that the attacker can blimp at. But just by placing the sweepers like down and away from the town hall makes it that much more difficult for them to figure out how to take that down with a blimp. I like to put at least one skelly trap behind the town hall so that it protects the single inferno, so the queen can't just get lucky and get through the single inferno. And then I like to put a skelly trap down by the eagle, either 1 or 2. I think this time I'm only going to put 1 because I've got heroes there to defend. And then I like to use my cannons to you can use your cannons to protect the like mortar or the air defenses on the outside and make it so that like they're not just super easy to take out in the base. If they're too easy, then it's just not going to be like all that good for you. Then they can easily like invest not much into a flinger and take your town hall, and you just don't want that. I think I'm actually going to remove one of these and put a ground expo in this compartment. Make it look a little more scary. My base designs are never really like perfect right off the bat. I don't think anybody's really is, so you have to keep that in mind, that when you're building, take it easy on yourself. You know, building bases is not easy, and it takes a lot of practice. You don't want your base to become something that angers you. You want it to be something that you still have fun with. In the current meta, I like to use 2 ground expos and 2 air expos. It just seems to work pretty well. It's mostly just kind of a battle sometimes, picking and choosing which ones you want air and which ones you want ground. So what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the expos aren't reachable from the eagle compartment, just kind of protecting the value in that section. Now what I like about this base so far is that there's a lot of possibilities. Like, what I mean by that is, like, I can put up like a lot of different options, like for the Tesla farm, because there's all this space for extra storages and defenses. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of stack this stuff up here, make it look kind of like it's possible that I could have something in here. And what I do is I kind of mix the gold mines and storages with just barracks and laboratories and stuff, because then they can't just use sneaky goblins, they have to use something else also to take out your items. So I'm just kind of placing the traps here, or just kind of placing out the trash buildings, sorry. And I'm going to put more storages over here, and this will also make the attacker just wonder, like, where is this Tesla farm? Because it could be over here, and it could be over here. It could be at the town hall, but it's not likely. Probably they probably won't think that. But it's all about just making them think, you know, like, where the heck is this at? Your wizard tower placement, you want your wizard tower to kind of like protect, like, so in this case I've got the scatter protecting the wizard and the wizard protecting the scatter. Not a lot of people use bats anymore, but if you can set it up that way, then it will help. You can't avoid having everything in the range of being frozen together, but if you can keep them out, make it more difficult, it's definitely preferred. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this gold storage and I'm going to put the mortar down there, and that'll help defend from any flame flinger attack on that side. And then I tend to just, like, at least at the start, I tend to just kind of spread out my archer towers somewhat evenly across the base. You want there to be decent DPS throughout the base. But then, like, it's definitely good to also throw in some trash buildings with your with the rest of your buildings. Throw in some trash and make it so that if they're not using hybrid or something, they could time fail, kind of thing. Okay, so I've got an open area here. I'll put an archer tower there, cannon here. It's kind of hard to avoid having good, like, value for, it's hard to avoid having good value for sorry, I'm trying to build at the same time while I'm thinking, it's messing me up. It's hard to avoid having good value against E-drags, just because the nature of the E-drag is that the chain value is just hard to avoid because the map hasn't gotten any bigger, but they've added more items into the game. So it's kind of unavoidable sometimes, but anytime that you can, spread out your defenses a little bit in certain areas, make it a little more tricky for the attacker to make easy entrance. Here, I'll put a wizard tower here. You can use, like, your it's good to use, like, cannons and stuff on the outside of the base to kind of protect the mortars you set out, and make sure that people can't just easily flame flinger everything. You can also use Teslas to defend against flame flingers if you catch them by surprise. The hardest part sometimes is when you've got, like, a little extra walls like I do right now, is kind of deciding, like, what you want to do with the walls. So notice how I haven't put, like, a ton of value in the town hall compartment, and that's just simply because I don't want someone to be able to blimp and get, like, too much out of it, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of scattering my archer towers here the best I can. I like to kind of spread them out. I'm gonna move this gold storage, I think. the bomb towers at the town hall are just kind of like intimidating. Like when an attacker sees those, they just think that it might be difficult to send a blizzard in there, so sometimes it'll keep them from doing it. Other times it won't keep them from doing it at all, and it's not a big deal. It's just kind of a strategy that you can try to use. I don't like doing this where I don't have enough room right here to place anything. However, it happens sometimes, and it's not the end of the world. You can't make everything perfect on every base, and that's something that you have to recognize. And if you don't recognize it, then it's going to be really annoying and really difficult to get yourself to be able to feel good about your base design and confident about what you're doing. Which is a problem that a lot of people have, because base building is not easy, and people are often not very nice with their criticism either on your base build. So it can make it really, really tough. So I got the gist of it here, most of the base down. I'm just going to adjust some things and throw in the other trash somewhere. But here it is, guys, just your basic anti 3-star base. Nothing too crazy or special. Just kind of spreading out the value to make the base difficult. The core multis like this are really popular right now. It's just really hard to get your troops to path to them. These channels that go into those can be bad sometimes against like smash attacks and stuff, so you have to be careful how you're like defending those. However, I've got enough like splash damage here on the outsides that like are not all reachable from the inside, that it's not really going to be a big deal. There you go. Now that Inferno Tower is not reachable from the inside of the base. So there it is, guys. It's just kind of a random thing. It's kind of cool because you get to make the base build your own. You get to design it however you want. A lot of people just build this similar designs all the time, and that's totally okay. There really is nothing wrong with that. You just have to be careful, like, because if you're building competitively, then like against teams, then they may get a good idea of like what your build is and how to attack it, because you build the same all the time. That's the only downside, I would say. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with building similar bases. Build them how you want to build them and have fun with it, because really, like I said, base building is an art, and I look forward to building many more bases on stream and having fun with you guys. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.